So obvious. But at the end of the day it's so obvious that Pedro's shot was over the line. It's incredible. So popular. I believe this is the whole reason retro has become so popular. So said. So, he set up an online payment system on his website. So take. Scotland are a hard side and very underrated, so we're not taking anything for granted. So tight. But when you come to the final you are so tight because you want to win. Social benefit. Reusing old mobile phones is not just good for the environment, it has social benefits too. Social change. It was all the social and cultural changes that the discovery or invention brought with it. Social interaction. All three men said that the social interaction of mobile music would drive the market. Social justice. He then became secretary of the Commission on Social Justice. Social phenomenon. It's a social phenomenon. Social responsibility. The US seems to lag Europe in producing corporate social responsibility reports. Social science. Crisis ahead in social sciences. Social service. These children automatically become the responsibility of social services. Socially responsible. They will have to act in a socially responsible way and will be tightly regulated. Socially unacceptable. Other than that, I wouldn't promote anything socially unacceptable such as adult websites or stores. Software developer. But, like all software developers, Argonaut needed a constant flow of deals with publishers. Software giant. Software giant Microsoft is taking the plunge into the world of blogging. Solid evidence. There is no solid evidence as to how the trophy became to be known as Oscar. Solid growth. U.S. economy shows solid GDP growth. Solo career. He has since forged a successful solo career, scoring 9 UK top 30 singles since 1998. Solve problem. If we could solve that problem we could cut unemployment by half, he says. Somehow get. In gameplay terms, HL2 somehow gets almost everything perfect. Something different. Playing 3-up was something different. Something happened. All right now, that suddenly it seems blindingly obvious that there was something happening here. Something special. Very quickly it became apparent that she was something special. Sometimes I think we have practically reached saturation point. Sometimes I think less is more. Somewhere else. I want to be winning things with Liverpool. Not somewhere else. Song play. It's a song that will be played forever and bridges all age groups. Soon you could go hunting via the net. Sophisticated software. Their motivation was the kudos which surrounded being able to crack sophisticated software. Soul music. She makes soul music and that definitely comes under the category of what we describe as urban. Sound card. It's easily upgradable, so a bigger hard drive, better sound and graphics cards can be added. Sound calm. The sound of music is coming home. Sound confident. Following the final hearing in late January, the athletes sounded confident they would be acquitted. Sound effect. Both background music and sound effects work well. Sounds strange. It sounds strange, but it's a tradition where I grew up in Kampen. Sound warning. The Swiss sounded warning of the dominance to come at the Australian Open. South Africa. Mauritius host the first group, and their opponents are Madagascar, the Seychelles and South Africa. South African. South African car demand surges. South America. He can also say farewell to the Copa Libertadores, South America's Champions League. South American. South American themed cartoon Jocko. South Bank. South Bank awards honor hit soap. Southern Hemisphere. The second. Southern Hemisphere coach. Rod McQueen made the approach. I didn't hesitate. Soy sauce. He scolded me for pouring too much soy sauce or told me fruit was not for children. Space Agency. In second place was Silicon Graphics Columbia supercomputer based at the U.S. Space Agency's NASA. Spark debate. Online commons to spark debate. Speak English. But unfortunately, he cannot speak English. He added, special attention. The 50 new pilot areas to get special attention will also receive extra government funding. Special award. Special award Alan Bennett for his outstanding contribution to British theatre. Special ceremony. Spurlock was given the award at a special ceremony at the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood on Tuesday. Special effect. Broadway. And now London is the same. Special effects are in great demand. Special importance. This has special importance for the business activities of the banks and the consultants, he said. Special moment. It's just a special moment. Special offer. Restaurants are using text messages to tell customers about special offers and promotions. Special permission. Special permission from the Spanish FA came after an injury to central defender Igor Georgi. Special praise. Gatland also singled out stand-in flankers Tom Rees and John Hart for special praise. Special property. These have special properties which can be activated in contact with the air or UV light. Special summit. The Game Developers Conference included a special 2-day summit dedicated to creating mobile games. Specific game. Critics argue that introducing the cards would be a costly scheme with no specific aim. Specific detail. There were no specific details on the injuries. Specific information. He refused to say if there was specific information about the risk of a pre-poll attack. Specific issue. It is not about specific issues local to Wales or the Assembly. Specifically designed. Cell is, in fact, specifically designed to be deployed throughout the House. Speed record. Supercomputer break speed record. Spend cash. More seemed interested in spending their cash on music-only devices. Spend day. The pair spent 4 days in a hospital, claiming they had been injured in a motorcycle crash. Spend holiday. I know of people who are spending their week's holiday from work playing Warcraft. Spend hour. The sad truth is my husband spent 11 hours today playing his Warcraft game. Spend money. They are used to spending money on hardware to match a game's requirements. Spend month. Congress will spend several months debating George W. Bush's proposal. Spend saving. But French households have spent their savings to consume. Spend time. The second half was about spending more time in their half. Spend year. Spend 3 years on probation. Spending increase. All the spending increases will run over the next 3 years. Spending plan. Blair blasts Tory spending plans. Spending rise. French consumer spending rising. Spin dial. Spin the radio dial in the US and you are likely to find plenty of Spanish-language music. Split party. Instead we have a split party and a damaged cause. Spokesman say. A DEFRA spokesman said, "We welcome the report." Sport event. Big sports and entertainment events are set to help trigger the general public's attention. Sport lesson. Tories pledge free sports lessons. Spot difference. It also shows that few can spot the difference between paid for results and organic ones. Spread quickly. News spreads quickly on weblogs, a phenomenon that helps bloggers expand their audience and scope. Spread rapidly. A virus that disguises itself as a joke is spreading rapidly across the net. Spread risk. One way to spread the risk is to invest in the stock market through a unit or investment trust. Spread virus. They are not an efficient way of spreading viruses, said Mr. Hogan. Spread wing. It will spread its portal wings to expand into rich media, he predicts. Spring up. Already, websites are springing up that point listeners in the right direction of good podcasts. Stable economy. The new lira is also the symbol of the stable economy that we dreamed of for long years. Stand alone. But again and again, speakers stated they could not see incompatible, stand-alone solutions working. Stand there. Josh Lucy was awesome. and every one of the forwards stood up out there. Standard fall. As a result, living standards could fall for the next generation of UK pensioners. Standard stuff. The gameplay is reliable. Bog standard stuff. Short on originality. Standing ovation. The crowd gave me a massive standing ovation when I came off on Saturday, which was nice, he said. Star actor. The movie also stars British actors Bob Hoskins and Brenda Blethyn as Darren's mother. Starshine. Stars shine on BAFTA red carpet. Start game. Chris Jones will then start the game on the bench. Start line. Laporte is expected to announce France's starting lineup on Wednesday. Start meeting. The Prime Minister is scheduled to start the meeting at 1830 GMT. Start season. Ulster, however, took time to start the new season under new coach Mark McCall. Start talk. The EU has also announced that it will start accession talks with Croatia in April 2005. Starting place. 5 Live. His choice would be Matt Dawson, even though he does not hold a regular starting place. State budget. The sooner the better for the state budget. State control. Air Jamaica back in state control. State firm. Gazprom, its unit Gazpromneft, investment company Baikal, and state oil firm Rosneft. State fund. He is also being investigated for tax evasion, tax fraud and embezzlement of state funds. State government. India's Airports Authority and the state government will own 13% each of the Finnish transport hub. State institution. Criminal and terrorist networks are more likely to operate where state institutions are weak. State law. He said state laws on hunting only covered regulated animals such as native deer and bird species. State pension. Call to overhaul UK state pension. State prison. The offence carries a sentence of 16 months to 4 years in state prison. State university. How come my parents and the university didn't look ahead? Status symbol. They became a yuppie must-have and a status symbol among young wealthy business folk. Stay active. Users get a physical token which automatically generates a code which stays active for 60 seconds. Stay calm. I knew I had to stay very calm and passive. You cannot fight 6 men. Stay time. Some people may stay the whole time. Some may dip in and out, said Ms. Henderson. Steady growth. Steady job growth continues in U.S. Steady market. On Wednesday, however, South Korea moved to steady the financial markets. Steal information. The most malicious forms steal confidential information or log every keystroke that users make. Steel industry. But at least there is still a steel industry. Steel producer. He cited last year's sale of Ukrainian steel producer Kryvyi as one that had raised concerns. Steep rise. But opposition parties said rebanding of council taxes would mean steep rises. Steering column. I bring everything back to me. Steering wheel. Steering column. Gear lever and pedals. Steering wheel. Fiat chief takes steering wheel. Stellar performance. Its stellar performance in 2004 has been built on sky-high prices for metals. Stem cell. I know many people are concerned about stem cell research. Stem from. 50s beef is 50s beef and I really don't know where all this stems from. Step ahead. In Washington, Congress has been debating 4 anti-spyware bills, but California is a step ahead. Step forward. So when it comes to computer security, trusted systems could be a major step forward. Stereo system. It can also act as a remote for home theater and stereo systems. Stiff competition. However, it faces stiff competition from rivals and low-cost carriers. Stiff opposition. The plans have faced stiff opposition from campaigners and politicians alike. Still believe. I still believe in him. Still consider. We are still considering if a 30% hike is suitable at the moment. Still do. And I still don't. Still go. Will their children still go to school? Still have. The guy still has it. Still keep. I am still keeping up my weights work and I can see the improvement in my running. Still manage. But I still managed to do all my marathon training. Still need. Philip still needs to be much more consistent. Still own. In 1999, when BMW still owned Rover, the Oxford factory was producing the award-winning Rover 75. Still remain. All 4 contestants still remain in I'm a Celebrity. Still see. But on a year-on-year basis, the sector still saw a sales increase of 6.5%. Still seem. He still seems to accept that the most likely outcome is another Labour victory of some sort. Still think. I still think interest rates are going up, he said. Still try. I am still trying to work out the Quado try. Still wait. It leaves patients in Wales still waiting 2 years before they're treated. Still want. But they still want more. Stock exchange. Both companies are listed on the New York Stock Exchanges. NYSE Technology dominated Nasdaq Index. Stock Index. Beirut's benchmark Blom Stock Index closed down 7.9% at 642.80. Stock market. Activision has a stock market capitalization of about $2.95 billion, £1 British pound and 57 pence, compared to AO's $17.8 billion. Stop attack. 80 large net service firms have switched on software to spot and stop net attacks automatically. Stop production. Bosch has stopped production of the part but expects to restart by February 2. Stop work. The 67-year-old also said he stopped working a few years ago because he lost his spark for acting. Storage device. But will mobiles become mere storage devices? Store sale. Sales at restaurants, bars and coffee houses rose by 0.3%, while grocery store sales were up 0.5%. Storyline. If they got a decent producer and writer, the storyline could be great. Story unfold. Thousands around the world followed the story that unfolded in the text messages that he sent. Straight back. There is an old adage. Get straight back on the horse that threw you. Richards told BBC Sport. Quotation mark. Strain muscle. He strained a muscle in his abdomen at the Birmingham meeting but is back in full training. Strategic investment. The central government of China is the authority that approved our strategic investment. Strategic partner. Russia is Ukraine's eternal strategic partner, Mr. Yushchenko said. Stream video. They ask themselves, if I'm streaming video from one handset to another, will it work? Street Party. Neither Downing Street nor the Labour Party would comment directly on the reports. Strengthen tie. The two countries strengthened ties in both defense and economic issues in 2004. Stress need. But he stressed that the government needed to get out of oil. Strict discipline. Mr. Bush indicated there would be strict discipline on non-defense spending in the budget. Strict rule. The payouts are bigger than last year, because of stricter eligibility rules. Strike action. There was some possibility of the strike action being avoided, he added. Striking thing. The first striking thing about the DS is how retro it looks. Strip club. You wouldn't let them go to a strip club. Quotation mark. Strong demand. Japan's government remains optimistic due to strong domestic demand. Strong desire. You have to have a real strong desire to carry on doing it even if you're very talented. Strong economy. Mr. Blair instead hailed Labour's achievement in using a strong economy to invest in public services. Strong enough. I know I'm fit enough. I'm strong enough. I'm skillful enough. Strong field. I'm looking forward to competing against such a strong field, he said. Strong growth. Latin America sees strong growth. Strong impression. And Sega's Feel the Magic are making a strong impression in other territories. Strong performance. However, Nestle's profits margins were helped by a strong performance in the Americas and China. Strong team. I believe they are the two strongest teams in Europe. Structure design. The new structure in each genre is designed to ensure that happens, she said. Studio recording. The legal fight centered on a studio recording of the unreleased track You Know. Study design. He said he would use the money to pay college. He is planning to study graphic design. Study reveal. A study revealed that 86% of visitors to the library carried laptops. Study show. Ms. Blears said the study shows CSOs are making a real difference in the fight against crime. Study work. We want more migration. More people come to study and to work. Subject to. Interest earned by children is subject to income tax. Subscription service. People did not know they were being offered a subscription service. Subsequent year. Her early success was cemented by 2 further Grammys in subsequent years. Substance abuse. The current system does not detect many of the substances being abused by athletes. Substantial amount. We spent a substantial amount of money on modifications to make it faster. Substantial progress. Sir John said substantial progress had been made since, adding that this was only the beginning. Substantially less. His new offer is expected to contain substantially less debt. Substantially reduce. But it is believed that Glazer has substantially reduced the borrowing required for his latest move. Successful applicant. And he argued asylum cost £2 billion a year for 14,000 successful applicants. Successful career. He has since forged a successful solo career, scoring 9 UK top 30 singles since 1998. Successful team. They own the successful Tampa Bay Buccaneers American football team based in Florida. Such activity. Such activities require the continued participation of the Russian government. Such device. But how good can that sound be from such a small device? Such practice. The company says it no longer tolerates such practices. Such service. And not everyone is impressed with the functionality of such services. Such site. If people didn't visit such sites, they'd be considerably less at risk. Such success. But such success is down to more than music. Such work. It is a career that you have got to really want to do because it is such hard work. Quotation mark. Suddenly begin. And suddenly it began to take on a whole new tone, explains Redford. Sue company. UCAS is currently suing 4 companies. Suffer attack. Smartphones suffer skulls attack. Suffer injury. Jama, 25, lost her sight in one eye while 22-year-old Small suffered serious head injuries. Suffer loss. Moya suffers shock loss. Suffer setback. Janssen suffers a further setback. Sugar industry. Announced a package for the sugar industry. Suggestion B. There is no suggestion that Mr. Karakau was himself aware of any wrongdoing. Sunshine. I care about myself, and when the sun's shining I think fantastic, replied Mr. Mackenzie. Superpower. For a team of astronauts who gained superpowers after being bombarded with cosmic rays. Supersize. Supersize Me wins Writers' Award. Superior Court. The lawsuit was filed with the Santa Clara, California Superior Court. Supermarket chain. Ahold is the world's 4th largest supermarket chain. Supply chain. Green reports shun supply chain support campaign. But he admitted there were some members of the Carrot Council who did not support the campaign. Support family. Who will support their families? Support role. Best performance in a supporting role: Amanda Harris for Othello at Trafalgar Studios. Supporting role. Best supporting role in a musical: Conleth Hill for The Producers at Theatre Royal, Drury Lane. Supreme Court. Judges at the U.S. Supreme Court have been hearing evidence for and against file-sharing networks. Sure sign. and the surest sign yet that we are heading for a general election in the next few months. Surely deserves his own film vehicle. Surge forward. Cult band Kasabian surge forward. Surplus cash. The surplus cash will be used to help keep the Mozilla Foundation running. Surprise move. It was another surprise move in Depp's varied and intriguing career. Surprise win. Surprise win for anti-Bush film. Surprise winner. They were the surprise winners of the Brit Award for Best Breakthrough Act 2 years later. Surround sound. High definition gives incredible 3D-like pictures and surround sound. Survey find. Reading blogs remains far more popular than writing them. The survey found. Survey show. Surveys have shown that most PCs are infested with spyware. Sustained pressure. That promise came after sustained pressure from opposition parties. Sweeping change. There would be no instant sweeping changes to blog lines, said Mr. Lanzone. Swimming suit. Professional swimming suits reduce drag by incorporating tiny structures similar to shark skin. Tackle problem. Deportation may tackle this initial problem. Tackle subject. Judges said the film tackled the contentious subject with great insight and sensitivity. Take action. As a consequence, the government has taken action. Take advantage. I rushed a few backhands and he took advantage. Take approach. Energous took a similar approach, said Mr. Seagrave. Take away. And I said that I wanted to take it straight away. Take break. Pop band busted to take a break. Take call. The only thing the phone can do is make and take calls. Take camera. Take digital cameras. Who would now pay to develop an entire film of photos? Take care. They came out, took care of business and they beat us. Take challenge. And it may take their compatriot Safin to challenge Federer on the men's side. Take chance. You took a chance, man, he said. Take change. I have no clue what it's going to take to change that, said White. Take charge. O'Gara took a quick tap penalty and charged over the opposition line for an Irish try. Take control. Benitez Joyas Reds take control. Take criticism. He added, if you are afraid to take criticism, you should go and do another job. Take day. It takes me about a day. Take decision. When she was 8, her mother took a decision which changed her life. Take drug. At first, White claimed she took the drug to combat narcolepsy. Take effect. To some extent, the credit controls do seem to be taking effect. Take fall. I used to take 2 steps and fall over. Take lesson. She spent 3 weeks learning Hindi and taking dance lessons. Quotation mark. Take medicine. The Russian said she did nothing wrong by taking the medicine during the event. Take money. However, if she picks the wrong man, then the imposter takes the money. Take picture. We often take pictures on flight or on layovers. Take place. The mock votes will take place around May 5th, widely expected to be the date of the general election. Take precaution. We took silly precautions. Take responsibility. But she now takes full responsibility for her actions. Take risk. I won't take any risks and come back too soon. Take seat. A BBC spokesman said. He took his seat as Jonathan Dimbleby was introducing the show. Take step. I used to take 2 steps and fall over. Take time. It looks a bit strange because I took my time. Take vote. They cannot take that vote for granted. Take wheel. Fiat chief takes steering wheel. Takeover bid. MCI shares climb on takeover bid. Takeover offer. Circuit City gets takeover offer. Takeover target. Analysts have seen SSL as a takeover target for years. Talent contest. By 1978, they had won a talent contest and got noticed by a manager, Paul McGuinness. Talent show. TV talent show The X Factor is to return for a second series after being recommissioned by ITV. Talk continue. ABSA and Barclays talks continue. Talk directly. Exposition is accomplished by other characters stopping to talk directly to you. Talk end. But Euronext declined to comment after the talks ended on Friday. Target range. At 2.6%. Inflation remains within the bank's 2-3% target range. Task Force. 2 task forces have been set up to examine doping and nutrition issues. Tax bill. Lugansk was sold to help pay off a $27.5 billion, 14 British pounds and 50 pence. Back tax bill. Tax credit. An extension of tax credit scheme for poorer families. Tax cut. UK needs tax cuts. Tax evasion. Mr. Khodorkovsky is in jail on charges of fraud and tax evasion. Tax fraud. He is also being investigated for tax evasion, tax fraud and embezzlement of state funds. Taxpayer. Council taxpayers are not eligible to vote without registration, officials have stressed. Tax rate. Reduced corporate tax rates to 30%. Tax rebate. The new £200 council tax rebate for pensioners did nothing to fix the unfair tax, he added. Tax relief. It is also due to announce a replacement for UK Film Tax Relief Scheme Section 48 in July. Tax revenue. Current government expenditure should come from tax revenues, Mr. Khatami said. Tax rise. Council tax rise reasonable. Tax system. It also will look at real estate tax system. Tax threshold. Raised the income tax threshold to 100,000 rupees, $2,300. Taxpayer money. He is spending, borrowing and taxing so much because he is not getting value for taxpayers' money. Teach kid. But if I can help, I want to be part of teaching kids how to win. Teach language. A U.S. researcher has suggested that games such as The Sims could be a good way to teach languages. Teach skill. Games teach life skills such as decision-making, problem-solving, said Martin Owen, at Futurelab. Team assemble. His team assembled wherever his gigs were. Team coach. Corinthians fans have invaded the dressing room or ambushed the team coach to attack the players. Team effort. It was a great team effort and we showed great character to come back. Team game. They are full of confidence and are playing a great team game, he said. Team manager. Louisa Cheathaman. Team manager. Louise Ramsey. Teammate. He also agreed at that meeting to apologize to his teammates for his behavior. Team member. Worse could follow, according to former British team member Chris Bailey. Team play. The teams will now play the final 2 minutes, plus 4 minutes of injury time, on January 5th. Team spirit. They have got a good team spirit and are strong mentally. Teamwork. Another team will work on the BBC's big-budget drama of Mervyn Peake's gothic fantasy Gormenghast. Tear apart. Yes. Joy Division love will tear us apart. Technical definition. A common technical definition of a recession is 2 successive quarters of negative growth. Technical issue. Technical issues and standards must be resolved first, said the report. Technical name. In practice, it will be an intervention, although this is not the technical name used, he said. Technical staff. One of the IOC's technical staff from Australia ran alongside me one day. Technical standpoint. The technology inside the cell is being heralded as revolutionary. From a technical standpoint. Technically challenging. They are very noisy and they are not technically challenging. Technological advance. He is one of a handful of robots used by tech firms to trumpet their technological advances. Technological change. Creatives are facing more challenges and more opportunities from technological change. Technology consultant. His comment was echoed by Graham Cluley, senior technology consultant from antivirus firm Sophos. Technology firm. The application for .mobi was sponsored by technology firms including Nokia, Microsoft and T-Mobile. Technology industry. The scheme has also been welcomed by the technology and commerce industry. Technology trend. The C predicted that there would be several key technology trends to watch in the coming year. Technology work. Arbor Networks technology works by building up a detailed history of traffic on a network. Telephone call. BT is offering customers free internet telephone calls if they sign up to broadband in December. Telephone company. The telephone company was the victim here, and you can bet that loophole was blocked very quickly. Telephone exchange. The vital local loop is the crucial link between telephone exchanges and homes. Telephone network. Calls are received and placed just like on the old telephone network. Telephone number. It is like when the London telephone numbers got longer. Telephone service. So it is not covered by the telephone preference service. Telephone survey. The survey was conducted during November and involved telephone surveys of 1,324 internet users. Televised debate. Televised debates have become the high point of the U.S. presidential election campaigns. Television coverage. X Factor judge Sharon Osbourne will present Sky Television's live coverage of the event. Television drama. Cosmetic surgery series Nip Tuck beat The Sopranos and Deadwood to the best television drama title. Television image. All television images are made up of pixels going across the screen and scan lines going down. Television movie. The directors of Omega and Sex Traffic are among the nominees for a television movie or miniseries. Television program. And I am sure, like ourselves, they will be watching the television program with great interest. Television series. Film director Quentin Tarantino is to direct an episode of U.S. television series CSI. Television set. People do this today with television sets. Television show. I guess it's just a television show. Tell court. I wasn't advised by Scott Sullivan of anything ever being wrong. He told the court. Tell customer. Restaurants are using text messages to tell customers about special offers and promotions. Tell people. That's what I am telling people on the doorstep. Tell story. Wolf brother tells the story of Torak, a 12-year-old hunter who lives in the forest. Tell truth. She felt, as we did, that it's a very strong case and she was telling the truth. Temporary measure. Upgrading security at nuclear arms stores is a temporary measure. Temporary relief. That cost could be defrayed by temporary debt relief. Temp shopper. Spam emails tempt net shoppers. Tennis career. Martina Navratilova has defended her decision to prolong her tennis career at the age of 48. Tennis court. I say that because there was nothing better for me than to compete on the tennis court. Tennis player. Roger Federer, nice bloke. Fantastic tennis player, the ultimate sportsman. Terminally ill. At the end of the day we are dealing with compensation for people who are terminally ill. Terrible mistake. I just really think that we have made a terrible mistake here. Terrible news. And Calder said, this is terrible news for every level of Scottish rugby. Quotation mark. Terrible waste. Committee Chairman Barry Shearman said, UKE University was a terrible waste of public money. Quotation mark. Terror threat. Mr. Clark says the powers are needed to counter terror threats. Terrorist attack. But Mr. Blair insisted, there is no greater civil liberty than to live free from terrorist attack. Test case. Iraqis win death test case probe. Test match. It would be irresponsible to put him straight into a test match, Andrew told The Times. Test result. But the test results raise the bar of supercomputing enormously and signal a remarkable achievement. Test technology. An Austrian village is testing technology that could represent the future of television. Test version. A test version of the new exam program will be released in late January. Textbook. He said the child could use the laptop like a textbook. Text message. Text messages aid disaster recovery. Thank God. I just thank God that no one got injured. Thank goodness. But eventually I was able to come back. Thank goodness, she said. There was deceit at the heart of government which was not limited to the visa affair, he argued. Thigh injury. He has now recovered from his thigh injury and played on Saturday with Biarritz. Thing change. He went on to say that things have since changed in the light of new reports. Thing happen. I'm not in it because of things that have happened in the past and had nothing to do with football. Things seem to be going in the right direction. Third party. It is a dream the third party has dreamed many times before. Third world. But Bob in the 1990s became one of the great icons in America and the third world. Third year. Now in its third year, Bangkok is a relatively recent addition to the hectic film festival calendar. Thorny issue. But even if the standards battle is resolved, there is the thorny issue of broadcasting rights. Thorough inspection. What we need is the equivalent of a thorough Ofsted inspection of the government's accounts. Thorough review. When the new stadium opens we will go through a thorough financial review, Mr. Dean said. Thoroughly enjoy. I've started back and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Thoroughly test. We have thoroughly tested the candidates. The films look well transferred to DVD, though none has extras. Threat level. Finnish company F-Secure gave the virus its second highest threat level. Throughout world. Chancellor Gordon Brown said the former PM would be mourned throughout the world. Throw ball. The only thing of note he did was to throw the ball back when it went out of play. Tick box. It's a nice, catchy, formulaic anthem that ticks all the boxes. Ticket machine. The firm promised no jobs would be lost as a result of new ticket machines. Ticket price. Just 250 guests attended with ticket prices at $5. Tidal wave. Traders ignored the possible effects of Asia's tidal waves on global supplies. Tie break. But Agassi won the tie break before wrapping up a 7-5-7-6-7, 3-6-1 win. Tighten security. The introduction of chip and PIN cards has tightened security for transactions on the high street. Tightly regulate. The hours that children can use net cafes are also tightly regulated. Time consume. Online role-playing games are time-consuming, but enthralling flights from reality. Time limit. I deserve to retire from both, but I'm not willing to put time limits on them. Time make. He told ITV, the time has come for him to make a public apology. Time period. Once we get the other permissions, normal time period for setup is a few hours, he said. Time. We rehearse it time and time again. Timely reminder. It would also be a timely reminder to Mike Ruddock as to what they can do. Quotation mark. Tiny baby. He did not interact with our sweet tiny baby because there were important quests waiting online. Tiny piece. It's a tiny piece of work, which should be a fairly quick recovery. Title role. I'd like to see Mr. Ben, with BAR plus Ed Pitt in the title role. Tobacco company. The tobacco companies deny that they illegally conspired to promote smoking and defraud the public. Today they went against us and that's tough at international level. Tomorrow night. I think they'll know tomorrow night. Too bad. Grunted. It's not too bad, either. Too costly. Business leaders had opposed the plan as they said it would be too costly and cumbersome. Too difficult. But critics say that MMS is confusing and some mobiles are too difficult to use. Too early. BMW said that it was too early to say how many cars were affected or how much the recall would cost. Too far. I'm not going to go too far with the lad. Too fast, too furious. Digital bridges. Too hard. It's been too hard on me, she said. Too high. Its debt is far too high for an emerging economy. Too long. The debate has gone on too long. Too many. But I've got too many memories of the other side. Too much. It would hurt too much. Too old. By the time he was 40, Lee had decided he was too old for the comic game. Too scared. But people are almost too scared to express them. Too slow. EU too slow on economic reforms. Too small. A media center computer has to store music, files and photos, and as such 80 gigabytes just seems too small. Too strong. Johnson too strong for GB runners. Too successful. Monitoring firm Netcraft found that the anti-spam campaign was proving a little too successful. Top award. Adventure Tale Tops Awards. Top brand. Its top brands include Newcastle Brown Ale, Foster's, John Smith's, Strongbow and Kronenbourg. Top executive. Chinese police have detained 3 top executives at milk firm. Top form. Ferrero Eyes returned to top form. Top job. Best person for top legal job. Top league. Jugnut tops French actor league. Top level. CENTR. The Council of European National Top-Level Domain Registries. Agrees. Top list. Little Britain 2 top comic list. Top player. I've dominated all the top 10 players. Top priority. Mr. Barroso has said that the EU's competitiveness will be his top priority. Top prize. The top prize at each stop on the world tour will be $15,000. Top seed. The top seed was rattled but recovered to close out the set and raced to victory in exactly an hour. Top speed. The 17 ms top speed of the lifts translates to about 38 miles per hour, 61 kilometers per hour. Top spot. McLaren Eyes UEFA Cup top spot. Total amount. Spam traffic is up by 40%, putting the total amount of email that is junk up to an astonishing 90%. Total asset. The South Korean bank will also make up 22% of the group's total assets. Total commitment. After 2 years of total commitment with the Davis Cup team. Total consumption. India imports about 70% of its total oil consumption. Total control. The deal gives InBev, the world's biggest beer maker, near total control over the Russian brewer. Total cost. The IAEA estimates the total cost of the 4-year project to upgrade its technology will be $40 million. Total debt. The Jacksonville, Florida-based firm has total debts of $1.87 billion, 980 million British pounds. Total export. The vehicle industry accounts for about 13% of South Africa's total exports. Total fall. Meanwhile, the benefit claimant total fell 11,000 to 813,200 last month. Total number. The total number of people online in Europe has broken the 100 million mark. Total output. Rosneft will now control about 16% of Russia's total crude oil output. Total rise. The UK's jobless total rose for the 2nd month in a row in December, official figures show. Total sale. Total sales were 30.1 billion rupees, up 27% from the same 2004 period. Total spending. The increase in sales during December pushed total spending for the month to $349.4 billion, 265.9 billion British pounds. Totally committed. We are totally committed to continuing to grow jobs in Australia, Mr. Dixon said. Totally different. Things will be totally different this time, he told BBC Sport. Quotation mark. Totally innocent. The people who were still doubting us should now believe that we were totally innocent, she said. Totally shocked. Ulster forward Ronan McCormack said he was totally shocked to be included. Totally suck. He finished it a few months ago and says it totally sucked. Touch ball. I'm positive I touched the ball down over the line, Lucy told BBC Sport. Touch people. It may seem like a victimless crime, but it touches more people than you might care to believe. Touch screen. The fear is that the touch screen and voice recognition are treated as little more than gimmicks. Touching moment. I know that this is going to be a very touching and memorable moment, she said. Tough choice. Tough choices are needed in public spending. Tough competition. Virgin Blue reported a 22% fall in first quarter profits in August 2004 due to tough competition. Tough fight. He also predicted the next general election will be a tough fight for New Labour. Tough game. That's what I call a tough game. Tough match. It's going to be a really tough match. Tough measure. These tough measures have borne fruit. Tough race. But as a test of character, it was the toughest race she's ever taken part in. Tough stance. The tough stance paid off with just 24 issued, while attendance improved in 776 cases. Tough year. We've had some really tough years in Wales and the players have been through a hell of a lot. Tour bus. A tour bus used by Charles and his entourage over the years will also be on permanent display. Tourist destination. Lille is a popular tourist destination for Britons who want a taste of France at the weekend. Tourist industry. The impact on the tourist industry is pretty devastating, especially in Thailand. Track record. Carnival has an incredibly strong track record. Mr. Champion. Trade agreement. But there are also pressing economic reasons for Egypt's decision to enter into the trade agreement. Trade deal. Egypt and Israel seal trade deal. Trade deficit. U.S. trade deficit widens sharply. Trade gap. Trade gap narrows as exports. Trade group. It is backed by a New York-based trade group called the Travel Partnership. Trade Minister. Trade Minister Mark Vaile has said that the bid may be against the national interest. Trade Organization. The World Trade Organization, WTO, is to hold membership talks with both Iraq and Afghanistan. Trade Press. We will continue to do what we have always done. We keep the issue in the trade press. Trade Union. You find trade unions fighting change. Trademark infringement. Orange said it was starting proceedings against the eSIM service for trademark infringement. Traditional mold. The music will be in a very traditional mold and draw on ethnic traditions, assured Mr. Wallace. Traffic jam. Choking traffic jams in Beijing are prompting officials to look at reorganizing car parking charges. Traffic offense. He was arrested in Barstow, California, on Saturday following an alleged traffic offense. Tragic event. This is a profoundly tragic event for the region and for the millions who are suffering. Train run. The passenger-only trains which use the tunnel are run by a separate company, Eurostar. Training base. England's players are due to meet at their Surrey training base on Monday. Training body. The research was carried out jointly by the UK Film Council and industry training body Skillset Training Centre. In addition, the European company has plans to open a training centre in India. Transfer fee. Bank of America announced last week that it planned to eliminate transfer fees for some customers. Transfer window. Souness also revealed he tried to bring back Nalberto Solano during the January transfer window. Transport hub. India's Airports Authority and the state government will own 13% each of the finished transport hub. Transport system. Transport systems around the world are seeing the advantage of using ticketless smart cards. Travel around. My wife is traveling around. Travel company. In the short term, however, travel companies are canceling flights and trips. Travel market. Interest in Jet's IPO has been fooled by hopes for robust growth in India's air travel market. Travel world. She also traveled the world directing ballet companies and putting on shows. Tremendous opportunity. 5 weeks later we're back on track and this a tremendous opportunity for Wolves. Trial date. A trial date has not been set. Triple jump. Also set a new championship mark in the men's triple jump title in Sheffield. True reality. Whenever the market reflects Pakistan's true economic reality, it is described as a bubble. Truly global, Mr. Boyd said. It was truly global in scope. Trust fund. The government is trying to encourage saving at an early age. Through its new child trust fund. Try again. The BNP has tried in the past to get into Swansea, and this is another example of them trying again. Try hard. I was trying so hard to win this tournament.